youth. They have the internet on their fingertips. They're looking at the world. They're seeing what are the courses, what are the job opportunities that I have. And when they come back to their colleges, they're saying, but do I still have to do typical arts or typical science or typical commerce? Am I never going to have a choice of moving across disciplines and sharing everything? Because the 21st century demands multidisciplinary skills. But now what are we giving to our students is silo-based, rigid kind of an education which is very, very theoretical, which is not making me employable, which is not giving me a B+. And that is why it was believed by the government that it was time for us to undergo a total transformation in the way we looked at our education system. So from the time of independence, so does it mean that this was the first time we thought of a national education policy or a new education policy? The answer is no. Till now there have been 10 commissions on education, including the very, very famous Kothari Commission. Okay? A national policy on education was announced in 1968 after the Kothari Commission. Then you had one in 1986, and the one that we are talking about is 2020. I was told by Dr. Rathod that we start with the fundamentals. So how is this new education policy, the national education policy, how is it going to change the way we teach now? I congratulate Honorable Principal for having had this seminar much before you are actually going to get into it. Okay, Vadias is still an affiliated college. You will soon become autonomous, and after you become autonomous, NEP comes to you. So you still have some time. SP has already completed. I come from Sir Parshuram Bhau College, very proudly so. And we've already completed one cycle of autonomy, and this June we are going to implement NEP. So for all of us, it's been, for the last 1 year, it's been a major process of trying to understand what the guidelines are, how we are going to shift, what exactly does this policy tell us to do. Let's look at some of the key features of what this policy is going to tell us to do. The first thing is there is an absolutely new pattern. Forget the 5 plus 3 plus 3. Let's only focus on the 4, because that is what colleges are supposed to do. Till now, we would have offered a 3-year undergraduate program. And that undergraduate program would have been an undergraduate program of only arts, only science, or only commerce. Now we are saying from 3 to 4 years. That is the first change. Let's first talk about the structural changes, and then we'll go into the nitty-gritties of what changes are going to happen. So the first structural changes is for 3-year degree program, colleges will now offer a 4-year degree program. So it is 4. It's going to be called as a BA Honours or a BAc Honours or a BCom Honours, either Honours or the choice also to have a research degree. So you can have either an undergraduate honours 4-year, and you could choose, if your college has a research center, to do an undergraduate research degree. Which means if you do a 4-year of undergraduation, you do only 1 year of masters. So the 4th year is as good as doing the MA1 or MSc or a postgraduate first year. So the first change, structural change that happens in NEP is to shift from 3 to 4 years. Next, Haraj sir, I was told, has already spoken largely on multidisciplinarity, and multidisciplinarity is actually the key to NEP. They are basically trying to say that for so many years, for the last 75 years, Indian education system has been very, very typical, never really given the students the opportunity to move across disciplines. And one of the reasons why a lot of students like to go abroad is because of the flexibility that they have over there. I could do 3 years of engineering, and then after 4th year I could go to arts. If I realize it doesn't work for me. I could do 2 years of medical, leave it, and then go to engineering. I can take one subject from arts, one from commerce, one from science, allowed. But in India, right after 10th standard, once I choose a faculty, that faculty stays with me till I complete my graduation, until I go in for my job also. So I have to choose a subject, I have to choose a faculty, and I cannot shift. There is no flexibility which says after 2 years, oh my God, I found this difficult, can I change? No, you can't change. I didn't find this interesting, can I change? No, you can't change. So the boundaries of discipline were extremely rigid. Now the NEP is trying to say that we are going to offer you liberal arts, and the focus is going to be multidisciplinary. I will be sharing the structure so that you know how students will be able to choose across disciplines and actually have a choice-based system. In autonomy, we were told that there is a CBCS. The university also practices, but we really know that the choice is not there. We'll say, timetable मध्ये नाही बसत. Okay? किंवा we'll say, वर्ग कुठं आहे? कसं जमणार? So we said, sorry, choice-based असलं तरी आम्ही देऊ तेच घ्यायला पाहिजे तुम्हाला. Right? So we really never had a choice of really telling our students, is the choice really there? Now the NEP is saying the choice will actually be there for all the students. Third, for colleges, unfortunately I should be talking about Wadia only, that there will be no stand-alone colleges. So if you are only a commerce college, you have to tie up. Fortunately, Nauruchi is right next door. Right? So no only commerce colleges, no only science colleges, all colleges will compulsorily have to be multidisciplinary. You all are aware that even IITs today have humanities departments. So even the best institutes in this country, which are engineering colleges, are also saying that we need to give humanities to our students. We have very, very strong humanities departments. IIMs have. So management institutes have, IITs have. Then why is it that some institutions today are still saying that we will offer only one faculty knowledge to our students? In the national education policy, that will not be allowed. You will have to tie up, there will be clusters, there will be some formal MOUs that you can do, but ultimately, every child will have to be given multidisciplinary education. That is going to be extremely important. The next point, as I said, this is an extremely student-friendly or a learner-centric education policy. If a child enters in the first year and for some reason cannot continue, the child can leave. Today, we say there is a dropout. And there's a very, unfortunately, a negative connotation about dropout. Upon dropout, we don't treat them very respectfully. We say dropout ahe. Now we are saying the child could have genuine reasons for dropping out, for not being able to complete. So should that child be given another opportunity? Yes. So a student can join college, leave after 1 year, come back after 2 years, go out again, come back. Question is how long? For 7 years. Okay, for 7 years. But how do you know who has gone? When are they coming back? What have they done? Who's going to keep a track of all this? And for that, we will be talking about this later. We will talk of the ABC, the Academic Bank of Credits, which all colleges today, especially all of us, autonomous colleges, are now creating. So the government of India has created this site, which is called as a DigiLocker. In fact, all of you can also start. I mean, it's not necessary that only we have to do it. So there is going to be a bank. And students are going to be earning credits now. Instead of just marks, you earn credits. So 20 credits, 40 credits, and every year you bank them. So you create your own ID, you have your own account, and not just from the college where you are studying, I can do MOOCs. They are encouraging up to 40% online courses. So I can go out, do some internships, study some courses outside, earn the credits and keep banking them. And at the end of 3 or 4 years, if I have earned 132 credits, after 3 years, 176 credits, I'm talking about the maximum limit, you earn your degree. So, it's a multiple entry exit. I can come in, I can leave, the child will decide. However, the responsibility for ensuring that every time a child leaves after the first or the second year, the institution must give them some skills so that even after 1 year the child has some chances of employment. म्हणजे 1 वर्ष करून विद्यार्थी बाहेर पडला तर त्या कॉलेजची जबाबदारी राहील की किमान 10 क्रेडिट्स तुम्ही त्याला स्किल बेस्ड काहीतरी द्या की जेणेकरून त्याला बाहेर पडल्यावर मिनिमम लेवल ऑफ एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी त्याला मिळू शकेल. तो जर 2 वर्ष करून बाहेर पडला तर त्याला डिप्लोमा मिळेल. 1 वर्ष करून बाहेर पडला तर he gets a certificate plus a 10 credit skill based course. If she leaves after 2 years, okay, she gets a diploma and she does another 10 credits of more employability. After 3 years, if you go, you get a BA degree, and if you complete your 4 years, you get a BA honors or a research or a BCom or a BSc. So at every level, the child earns something. Right? This is not a dropout. You're respecting the fact that there are some reasons, unavoidable reasons because of which the child had to leave. And you're saying doesn't matter, whenever possible, please come back. And if not, we are sending you with some kind of a skill set so that you stay employed in the market. Another thing that the NEP is doing is it is integrating vocational education in the mainstream education. So again, for a very long time, even after 11, there was a stream called as vocational. Or if some students went to ITIs, they were never really looked up. It's an ITI, suppose. Okay, they were never given that kind of respect. Degree versus skill, आपण नेहमी डिग्रीला व्हाईट कॉलर ह्याला जास्त अनफॉर्च्युनेटली आपल्या समाजाने महत्व दिलेलं आहे. टुडे वी आर सेइंग नो, skills are equally important. Let me just tell you why. There are 2 important reasons. We talk about the fact that in the 21st century, in the next 5 years, India has the biggest demographic advantage in the world. All the Western countries are slowly aging societies. India has the advantage of having the maximum young people in the world today between the ages of 18 to 30. It is said in the next 5 years, 40% of the world's workforce will come from India, provided we still are students. There are huge job opportunities all over the world because there are no young people to work abroad. All societies are older and older. There are the young people. They will have to get more and more people from India. But how will our Indian children survive? How will they fit into that system? If we give them the necessary skill set. So you're integrating vocational education to ensure that at every step the student gets different kinds of skills as a part of his overall credits. So the 132 credits or the 176 credits that I earn will be academic, co-curricular, extracurricular and vocational, and they are all compulsory to get your 132. It's not as if I do only arts, academics, 132, not allowed. Under every category, you will have to ensure that the students earn their credits vertically and horizontally And all these points are actually taken care of. Next. They are also introducing a research component at the undergraduate level, at the postgraduate level, and they are also allowing a dual degree. Till now, I could not pursue 2 degrees simultaneously. 1 degree and 1 diploma was allowed, or 1 degree from regular university and 1 from a, right? Now today they are saying you can pursue 2 degrees also simultaneously. Of course, timings will have to be different and there are a lot of other riders, but you can do that. Dual degree. Also, teacher integrated, this we can skip for 2 minutes, internationalization. We already know there are foreign universities coming to India. There are both sides to the story. So a lot of people are saying, how will we compete? We are traditional colleges. Western universities have funds, infrastructure, everything is great. So our students would naturally be attracted to them. The government is saying, isn't it time that we also maybe pulled up our socks and ensured that we also give quality education? And can we also sign some MOUs with them through which their students can also come and we offer something that is very Indian, because we all know that their students, foreign students, are interested in learning Sanskrit, they are interested in a lot of traditional art, architecture, literature over here. Can our colleges offer them something through which it will not be a one-way traffic of only our students going there? Their students can also be given some very, very attractive courses through our colleges and our institutions. But first, where does NEP come in and which are the first institutions? Institutions like ours, which are autonomous colleges. We are going in first immediately from June 2023. We are already gearing up for it. Private universities and university departments. Fortunately, all of you have a couple of years, maybe 3 years now? 2-3 years. Yeah. Yes. So once your NAC is done, your accreditation is done, then autonomy, and then ready for NEP. But there is enough time to learn from our mistakes. Yeah. Please. Okay. I'll just move on because I know there's a time crunch. Yeah. So they're just saying there is going to be internships. Yes. And there's a lot of focus on skills and internships. That, as I said, our disciplines, our subjects used to be extremely theory oriented. Now they're saying take the students to places where they can actually experiment, work and do the theory. So theory was only in the classrooms. Take them for internships, let them actually practice a lot of things. So internships are going to be after 1 year, after 2 years, and of course those who stay for post-graduation, for the 4th year research, will also be doing a lot of work over there. Yes. There may be certain common courses which every student will have to learn. Obviously, the entire NEP is focusing on 2 very important things. Rootedness in India's culture. Okay. The focus of NEP is how much of India do you know? Are you proud of your culture? Unfortunately, and I say this very responsibly, I have also been a teacher for the last 30 years. But a lot of our subjects, our content, the books that we study, read, recommend, most of them have a very strong Western orientation. And in fact, whether it is management, I'll give you my example, for example. When I start teaching political science, but the first definition I teach is the word politics comes from the Greek word polis, which means a city-state. That is the definition of politics. But when I started looking into the Indian texts, Kautilya's Arthashastra, Ramayana and Mahabharata, I realized that much before the Greeks, the Indians have 7 words for politics. Raj Shastra, Rajniti Shastra, Niti Shastra, Danda Shastra, so many more. Right? So, Now we are trying to say that why is it that everything that we teach always has to start with these people in the US said this, or somebody in Europe has given us a subject. Has there not been anything talked about this in our own tradition, in our own history? Maybe for some subjects it was not there, agree? But for many other subjects it was very much there. But as I said, for my own subject, it was a wake-up call for me too. That next time when I teach pol science, I'll not start with Greek. Politics comes from the Greek word polis. I'll say, nahi, isse pehle ye bhi bahut tha. Right? And the NEP is exactly trying to say that we need to bring in this pride about our tradition and our culture and try to tell them that we've had this. It's just that maybe, for whatever reasons, it was not a part of our syllabus. So they are bringing in the concept of IKS, Indian Knowledge Systems. That is the word they use in NEP, IKS. So what is Indian Knowledge System? Where you are saying that the entire concept of knowledge is not just a Western idea. India has a very strong tradition of knowledge, and every subject that we teach, I was speaking to sir about mathematics, and as I said, maths, right from zero and whatever, sorry it's not my domain, but so much of maths has come to us from India. But was it a part of the mathematics curriculum? The answer is no. Our flora, fauna, botany, zoo, physics, probably in many subjects there will definitely be a very strong component which was written way back. But it's time for us under NEP to try to explore that and to tell our students, of course we have to teach what is a part of the syllabus, but orient it in such a way that our traditions are also introduced to the students. So that is definitely one more part. Understanding India, environmental science, digital and technological solution. We all know that AI is the next big thing. Students are already using ChatGPT, right? I hope not for your assignments, but for so many other things, right? So technology is right there, and we will have to ensure that we are providing the right kind of knowledge and courses to our students so that when they go out of this country, or even for us, they are better equipped to deal with it. Plus mathematical and computational thinking, health, wellness, yoga and fitness. These will be part of the compulsory courses that all students will have to learn. I'll just take this. Yeah, so let's look at this. The broad structure at the undergraduate level is 4 years. At the first level, the undergraduate certificate minimum requirement will be 40 credits. Next year, diploma will be 80 credits, bachelor's degree 120, bachelor's degree honors 160, and bachelor's degree research will also be 160. Now this is the more detailed one. I know you all have some time, but just for you to get a sense of how these credits will actually be distributed. Students will now, instead of choosing their specializations later, will take admission to college with their specialization right from first year. Okay, especially I come from the arts faculty, so our specialization under SPPU would start in SY or arts. Science it is TY. Now, when a child takes admission, he or she takes admission with the major subject right in the first year. Right from first year. Then the child will have a choice of choosing a minor which can be from any subject, any faculty. The multidisciplinary part. Also, the generic electives, general electives, the IKS, AECs, SECs, these are all courses which will be from faculty other than yours. So if a political science student is doing major with pol science, we choose minor from science or from commerce. That is the idea. How we are going to fit it into our timetable and everything will come later. But the idea is every child will have to take courses under all this. And only then will he or she be able to complete these kind of credits. The levels that I have written over there, 100 to 199, this is from the UGC circular of December 2022, which tells us when you're making your syllabus, what should be the difficulty level. So they have defined the levels and said that in first year, 100 to 199, which means all FI students will be offered basic courses in that subject. Introducing the subject, concepts, ideas. First semester, yeah? First semester, second semester. Then as you go on to second year, you will have levels that go on increasing, 100, 200, 300, 400. So these levels have also been very, very clearly given by UGC, and it is expected that when the syllabus is made, we will be following all this. And as I said over here, major is my specialization. In today's current language of university, special paper apte. That would become major, general apte paper, minor, plus GEs, general electives, vocational and skill courses, AECs, languages, ability enhancement courses are by languages which are compulsory. IKS, as I said, Indian knowledge system. Each one of us will have to ensure that we bring in some component of Indian knowledge system. EVLSC is vocational courses, value-added courses, because they're giving a lot of importance to being good human beings also. And internships, projects and co-curricular. So the sum of all this will come to about, I'm giving the minimum numbers, 120 to 132 and 160 to 176 credits. A child will have to earn so many. Now the question is, does everyone go to fourth year? Yes, if you want to do BA honors, any undergraduate honors, if you pass, you can go. But for research, only and only if you get 75% in your third year, can you go in for fourth year of research. Because they're saying that has to be a minimum academic criteria, because obviously research is higher level. So for BA honors, all children, so long as they pass, they can do the fourth year. It will be called as BA honors. But for BA research, 75% will be absolutely required, and colleges need to have a research center. Only then they can offer undergraduate research degree. Otherwise, you can only offer undergraduate honors degree. That is a criteria that the government has given. This is all okay? No, I'm not getting into technicalities. You have some time, so let's not get into the technical framework. This is also okay. This is fine. This is also okay. Okay. Now, I know Karat sir has already spoken a lot about multidisciplinarity, but I thought I'll just take a couple of slides here to tell you why multidisciplinarity is the core of NEP. Till now, we used to say that our education system was fragmented, compartmentalized, and extremely rigid. Now we are trying to say that, look, let's have a focus on what they call as holistic education. So whenever I want to teach any subject, for example, I want to teach a subject like environmental science, I don't know how it works in your college or maybe in Vidya college, but one department was given the job and said, EPSC Kadiji. But did we really do that? One person from geography, one from botany, one from so and so. Did we really do this? I don't know. Not opening any cards over here. But then, environmental sciences to be taught properly, ideally we should have a group of all the subjects that can teach EVS from a very different perspective. So even I, as a student of political science, would definitely be interested in teaching EVS because we make the policies for environment. Who makes policies? Government. Which means we study who makes policies. So right from political science, so there is economics of environment, there is politics of environment, there is a sociology of environment, there is a history of environment, there is a philosophy of environment, and of course, all sciences will definitely have some part. How much of this really goes into the teaching of our EVS? Just a few question marks. Yeah, so I'm just going to leave you with a lot of question marks. Now let me look at this, and I was telling, I think Karak sir, that every time you get called for a lecture, it's a learning experience because I study. So when people say, what is she doing in a commerce college? And if I start giving examples only from arts, it doesn't make any sense to us. So I will be honest and tell you that I did study yesterday, went through the websites of many best commerce colleges in the country, and said, okay, let me go with some good examples. Right? So here, when I was looking at how can you have some multidisciplinary courses across arts, science and commerce, I found that a lot of colleges don't teach actuarials. So my request later would be that commerce colleges would start. Yeah, I know, I saw your syllabus also. So actuarials are very much there, very much required. Animation, graphics, data sciences is also there. Plus all the new sectors that are coming in. Sports management, for example, is one of the very, very upcoming areas. You have the wellness sector, you have tourism sector, and how can commerce be integrated into all this? We could be possibly looking at these kind of courses because that is where all the new opportunities are for the children. Let's get into this, no problem, this we've already said. The ABC, just need to. Yeah. Okay, so the ABC is going to be a very interesting phase for all the students where across the country you will be able to transfer the credits. Of course, when we were speaking to Honorable Nitin Karmalkar sir said, he said that we are not going to do ABC across India now. Let's focus on Maharashtra first. Okay, because we have to be practical. And he said even for doing credit transfers, there are 3 things that even 11 universities across Maharashtra first need to do. Because we have 11 universities, syllabus is different, timings are different, academic calendars are different. So if a child comes from Marathwada to Pune, how do I ensure there has to be equivalence? So Karmalkar sir told us that they are already working on a system where they are going to do 3 things for Maharashtra first. Common academic calendar. 2, system of equivalence. Okay, so that anywhere within Maharashtra a child can come. There will not be a problem. And ensuring that our subjects are minimum at the same level, so that if you've done FY and come here to SY, I can accept the student because I know the child would have done so many basic courses on that. So, though it is written over here that ultimately credit transfers can happen all over India, now for the next maybe 2-3 years, it is Maharashtra focused that the government has already told us. This is all okay, this we've just said. Last part about NEP is also going to be how we are going to evaluate our students. So it's not just about learning, it is also about evaluating. So 2 things that were happening till now was year-end exams, rote learning, memory-based exams. Now NEP is saying the problem with all our children is they are so used to memory-based exams. If you give them a little question here and there, which is based on critical thinking, they cannot answer. India used to participate in an exam called PISA exam. All over the world, nearly 160 countries participate in this. So the students from India's best schools had participated in this PISA exam. Out of 180, we came 178th. Despite the fact that our children were from among the best schools. Why? Because they were given questions when nothing was, typical or was given. They had to think for themselves, situational questions. Okay? Or sometimes where you have the knowledge but you have application of knowledge. Now when our students were given this, they failed. Because our education system has made them study in such a way that I study at the end of the year, I study this, what is given to me, and our teachers also expect, Jamie Sangeetla test hai. So if we expect that, where is the originality, critical thinking, questioning for a child to be able to apply his or her knowledge? So now the NEP is trying to say that you will have to even evaluate your students in a different way. Don't have only the year-end exams, have what is called as a CIE, continuous internal evaluation, and the form should also be different. You can have discussions, take them for study tours, ask them to read something, open book exams, etc. etc. So not just that, the pedagogy of teaching, म्हणजे आपण ज्या पद्धतीने शिकवणार आहोत ते तर पूर्णपणे बदलेलच. So the pedagogy will change and the evaluation system under NEP is also supposed to change substantially. Finally, in all this, who is going to be the change maker? Okay, so the teacher here. The teacher is the catalyst, the teacher is the mentor, and teachers have to bring about a tremendous change in their thinking. I cannot say I only studied this subject, I only know only this. I have to, today I'm from commerce, but I have to teach a child from science. Nice, Zaman. I assume that a child who comes to me at BCom has already done 11th, 12th commerce. So there is some base, they know. So I can build up on that. Today you can have children coming from anywhere in your class. So am I going to be prepared to understand, to teach, to learn from them also? So the role of the teacher is going to be extremely critical. You will have to play multiple roles. You will be a counselor, you will be a mentor, you will be a teacher, you will be a guide, and of course a teacher who reads beyond the given syllabus also. You will have to blend the traditional with the modern, stay enthusiastic, stay creative, and this is the change that NEP expects in all of us. So what is the dream of NEP? The dream of NEP is to provide holistic education for the overall development of the student, because they believe that education is absolutely essential for developing the full potential of every child, and the only way our country can go ahead is by ensuring that all our children get the best kind of education. Thank you. Thank you.